What is going on, guys? Horizon here, and on today's episode of RLCS Game Plan, we're going to be taking a deep dive into what went wrong for Gen.G in the grand finals of the Fall Cup against Version1. Today we're going to be on board with Kronovi here to see how the newest member of this high level of Rocket League handles the pressure of a grand finals. But before we do get into it real quick, I am setting a lofty goal of attempting to reach 500 subscribers by the end of this year, so if you wouldn't mind helping us achieve that goal by hitting that bright red subscribe button right down below, I'd really very much appreciate it. But with that all said, let's jump right on board with Kronovi here. Good kickoff back left, right to Noly, gonna swing over and grab some boosts and chill out in the midfield and see what's up. Good 50-50 here, just trying to keep it in version 1's half. Backing out we go, down the field. Nice control, gets the flip. So here's the first thing I want to look at. So he comes up, he gets the flip reset, and he's air dribbling this down the field. Now the problem is he has all three version 1 players just sitting on the ground waiting for him to come to ground. They know he doesn't have the boost to go for this based on the trajectory that he's flying at currently. So instead of Kronovi going for this Musty to try to get some distance on the ball, I would like to see him just take a 50-50. The chance of him being able to get this over to Noly now that he's lost control of the ball is almost impossible. So instead of flicking the ball away from him, I'd almost like to see him either push for a 50-50 before he loses control of this ball, or at the point that he's falling with only 7 boost, just fall to the ground with the ball because he's already behind it. So if he falls to the ground with the ball, he can use that 7 boost he has left to get a 50-50 with beast mode. But instead he flicks his ball away and it just ends up being a free touch away for Comm, which just gives away possession to version 1. So we want to be careful with possession when we have it. Rotating back here, all fine. And now right here, so as we're coming back, we're rotating back, this is all fine. Pick up the mid boost, this is good. Now, Noly gets demoed, right there. Jack was floating in the air, so we actually can't be positive how involved in the play he's going to be able to be. He's probably calming that he's on the backboard, but we only have one person behind us. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to make it super easy for Torment to go around us here, because it can create a lot of problems for our last man back. Main reason being, currently we can only see one version 1 player, which means 2 of them are still behind us, which means they already caused problems for Noly in Comm's demo, but Beast Mode or Comm could still be circling around back there going after ApparentlyJack. So we need to be careful when going for a challenge here that we don't take ourselves entirely out of the play for no reason. And by jumping this aggressively, we just let the ball go over us for free. Luckily, Jack had recovered into net. He actually wasn't on the backboard, he was in the net. He had recovered into net, and luckily Beast Mode wasn't able to mess with him at all, and Comm had rotated out, so ApparentlyJack's able to get the touch away. That could have ended up being a lot more dangerous for the fact that we basically left ApparentlyJack completely on an island, isolated, and didn't do anything to really help him out on the defensive end. Just chilling, waiting to see what ApparentlyJack does. Cutting rotation. And this is just beautiful play all the way down the field from Kronovi. So, ApparentlyJack's backwards. He's obviously not going to be touching this ball. And we want to try to play this in such a way that V1 can't follow up on it. So by playing it back around Beast Mode, it makes it so that he's no longer involved in the play, unless he blocks us, which in this case isn't really likely. So Kronovi gets this first touch, which is light enough that he keeps it close, but hard enough that it gets around Beast Mode with no issues. He spots Comm right there in the midfield, and even though Comm's heading backwards, Kronovi wants to get this ball over the top of him, so he flicks it around. Comm leaves the play because he's in an awkward spot under the ball. So now we just have to deal with Torment, and we go up to get the challenge and push it right through. And we're probably one dunk on Comm away from getting a goal here from Noly. But the amount of patience and control Kronovi just displayed to bring that ball all the way downfield while keeping it close enough to maintain possession and continue to get 50-50s is really, really good, because it's those types of plays that help you break out a defense when you might be struggling a little bit. So wonderful play there from Kronovi. Unfortunately, it doesn't end up in too much. Some extended pressure here for Gen.G, but not a whole lot going. Nice early jump here as well to take version 1 off the ball. Grab some mid boost here and rotate back. This touch is a little bit wasteful, so I understand what he's trying to do here, right? He sees his two teammates rotating back, so in his mind, all he wants to do is buy time. But kind of similarly to how we worked our way down the sidewall earlier, ideally, if we could buy time here while also maintaining control of the ball, that would be ideal. So we obviously need to hit this ball around Comm, but if we could hit it around him to the left side towards the sidewall, there's every opportunity that we could stay on this ball and follow it up, maybe go for an air dribble and maintain an attacking position on this play, instead of just giving the ball away for a free touch for V1. Now, luckily, they don't get a great touch, so ApparentlyJack comes in and steals the ball off, and now Kronik's in an awkward spot as he just keeps getting bumped. Grabs forward to apply some pressure there to Beast Mode to make him do something. Circle around, grab the mid boost. This looks awkward, but actually it's kind of pretty effective. Because he bumps Comm here, and then he bumps Comm again. And he's in the midfield, so Comm knows that Kronik's there, so Comm has to make a touch on this ball. Now Kronik rotates back in. He's not planning on going for this ball much at all, but he's forcing Beast Mode to go for it. Because if Beast Mode doesn't, the ball drops right to Kronik and he has free possession. So now the ball is a free touch for Noly. Kronik can collect the boost, and we are still on the attack. Rotating back, lovely catch here, just taking it up the wall. Absolutely beautiful from Kronik. Again, this is the second time that he's had the ball in his own back corner, and this is a totally different play than the last time. So last time he dribbled the ball down the sidewall. This time he goes up in the air, he sees Beast Mode's pre-jump, so he lays off the boost, fakes off the ball, lets Beast Mode fly by, then gets the touch. Sees Torment approaching from the left side, so what do? We catch the ball on the right side of our car and push it to the right, which takes the ball around Torment and get one more touch for good measure, and now we're in to the opponent's half. We see Comm coming up the backboard. He's our one big obstacle in terms of getting the net, so let's go for a demo. Unfortunately, we miss him, but lovely ideas all the way down the field from Kronik. Really nicely done, and really nice composure as we go through this game. This turn infield is a bit awkward, so we're driving back down the midfield. If we look at the positioning of our teammates, ApparentlyJack's in midfield, Noly's getting a 50 on the right side, but Torment is in the midfield facing forward. So we're currently turning infield to play for this 50 from Noly, but the problem is we are so far away from this play that any 50-50 that goes into the midfield is immediately going to be taken up by Torment. So we don't want to get this close to the play, because Torment could have easily just shot this. And the fact that he didn't is actually extremely lucky, because this should have been a goal for V1. Instead, we should have just kept driving back towards our net. Yes, we're giving up a bit of space in the midfield, but it's going to be claimed by version 1 anyway if that 50-50 goes where they want it to. So we might as well be in a position to defend our net instead of leaving our net wide open like we do here. This is, again, really good field awareness by Kronik. So as he rotates back here, let's look at what he does. So Noly is heading back into net. Comm is going for a bump here. So now watch this camera check that he's going to do in just 1 second. Right there. He's quickly realized that Comm is harassing Noly. He knows Noly is now unable to fill his spot in rotation. So based on this one quick check, Kronik goes, okay, cool, don't worry, Noly, I'll take your spot, you chill in net, and I'll cover your spot in this rotation so that we're able to get this challenge on this ball. If he doesn't recognize that Noly's been bumped and still rotates back behind where Noly should be coming out, this challenge doesn't happen and Beast Mode has a free touch here. So really nice understanding by Kronik to recognize that his teammate needs him to take his spot in rotation and filling in that spot beautifully. We want to be a bit careful of boost usage here. This is the second time now that we've kind of crept up on a play, possibly a little too close. So we have 36 boosts as we turn this corner here. Now, unless Noly is going to score this, there are 3 version 1 players that are prepared to take control of this ball, and we are currently way too far out of the play to have an impact. So boosting all the way forward like this is just asking for trouble, because again, we're positioned so far forward that if Comm gets a powerful shot on net, we're not saving it. We can't get back in time. Comm could also have taken his time here and gone for a dribble, but he luckily just bangs it away. but because of how close we're getting to this play, we now are unable to defend a counterattack if it were to come out. It's perfectly fine to drive forward here because we do want to involve ourselves a little bit in the play, but with 2 of our players in V1's final third, we probably should play a little more passive on this play, just to wait to see what comes out and to make sure we have the boost to deal with whatever counterattack version 1 throws at us, so we can buy some time for our team to get back. It works out though. Comm doesn't shoot it. Really nice defense there to get back. Smooth transition to the back wall. And this is just a great read from Kronovi. So as he comes down the field here, he sees ApparentlyJack get this touch. It's coming downfield. He's not going to stare up at the ball, because if he stares up at the ball, he has no clue what the opponent's doing. So instead, he knows this ball is too far away for Comm to go for based on the momentum Comm has. So as the ball comes down, he's just going to watch Comm's car. And wherever Comm's car is positioned towards, Kronovi's just going to jump in that direction to play this block. And that is just a beautiful usage of using ball cam and car cam, just to be able to look around the field and identify where you can be the most useful to the play, and where you can have an impact even if you can't actively make a solid touch on the ball. Just chilling under Jack here, waiting to see what develops. Going in for a challenge with Comm, doesn't get much there. We need to be careful with challenges like this. So Comm still has control of the ball, and I understand that we want to get him off of it. He is just letting us 50-50 our own teammate. So our teammate is currently reading the touch that Comm has. So they're focused on what Comm is doing, and they're going to play off of that. So it can be really risky to go in for bumps like this, because if we change the physical look of the situation, it can really quickly throw off our teammates' reads and make the outcome of the play extremely awkward, because now the ball is in a place that our teammate wasn't expecting. Just chilling on the backboard, early jump, make sure we get that touch away from V1. Chilling in the midfield, good dodge on the bump. Right, so this is how they get scored on the first goal. So, right here, you don't have a whole lot of boost. Noly's last man back. ApparentlyJack is in the other team's half, so he's going to take a while to get back. You really have 2 options here. I don't mind the idea of the back pass. It's actually a really good idea, because it maintains control of the ball for your team. However, if you're going to back pass this ball to Noly, you need to make sure that it's going back enough that Noly's going to have a free touch, and it's not just going to result in a 50-50 in a rather dangerous spot. The other option you have is, instead of passing this ball back, just swoop around to the right side of this ball and be prepared for the challenge coming from V1. This enables Noly to still be your third man back and cover whatever results from the challenge, and it also buys time for ApparentlyJack to get back. Either one is realistically fine. I like the idea of the back pass. I think it's a solid option. Either would have worked, it's just that I don't think we get this ball far enough back. So we hit the ball like this. Now, we can hear currently to our left that there's a player coming up on that side. Now, we know it's not going to be ApparentlyJack, so we can assume that that's a V1 player coming to challenge this ball. So with the fact that there's a 50-50 looming on this situation, we absolutely should not be going for that corner boost. Reason being, this ball is heading towards the sidewall. Sidewall challenges can be extremely volatile, as you're going to see. So after making this touch, we should most definitely be taking small pads back to net, so we can defend whatever comes off of this 50-50, with probably about 36 boost, which is plenty of boost to make any play we need to after this challenge happens. But instead, we drive to the corner, and Noly gets the crap dunked out of him, and it's just right in our net. So there was definitely a safer way to play that. With only a minute left and in a tie game in Game 7, you really want to make sure that you're playing safe. You don't want to make any risky decisions, and that right there was unfortunately just a little too risky for our own good. So we get punished, but 53 seconds, we still have time. Well, 50 seconds now, we still have time. Again, really nice back left kickoff from Gen.G. They're really nice at gaining control of the ball off of kickoff. Beautiful bump. And this is just a well thought out play. Kronovi up in the air, sees Comm jumping, knows Comm's the only one up who can put an immediate challenge on this ball. So he takes Comm out of the play, and this gives ApparentlyJack just the smallest window to slot this ball into the net around beast mode. But we'll take it. Lovely play, all started from the back left kickoff, and really enabled Gen.G to take control of that play early and put them in a really good spot to tie the game back up immediately. Skipping forward, now to overtime. Let's see how we get along here. Again, going for that back right kickoff this time, doesn't quite work out. Nice early jump here from Kronovi to make sure Comm doesn't have complete control with no challenge. Picking up pads in the midfield, not bad. This is a little dangerous in terms of positioning, so you'll see that both Noly and Kronovi are pretty much defending the same area of the field. Now, if Beast Mode is able to cut around this ball and put a hard shot on net, this is game over because no one is able to defend the goal currently because they're both pulled out of net. Ideally, we'd like to see Kronovi positioned a little further back. Noly's currently defending the corner, so anything that Beast Mode does in terms of a dribble, we'll let Noly handle. We don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're defending the same area of the field as our teammate, because that just leads to us leaving our net open, and if Beast Mode recognized this faster, he might have been able to catch this on a dribble and flick it behind Kronovi, and that would be game over. And it looks like that's what he tried to do. He just didn't get enough power on it, unfortunately. He did see the open net and he tried to take it, but luckily it just wasn't a powerful enough shot, and Kronovi is able to rotate back in time to take it away. A little bit dangerous in terms of positioning though, so gotta be careful about that. Lovely control there from ApparentlyJack to get the ball downfield, coming right back from Beast Mode. Again, a little bit of awkward communication here. So Kronovi's backing up to the corner. Now, in this situation, this is 100% Kronovi's ball. Like, we shouldn't have a situation where Noly's cutting in on this play because we have a man in the corner able to defend whatever touch is coming out from V1. So Noly cutting across here just makes it really awkward, and neither of them pull off, so they both just go for this challenge with Torment. And this now leaves ApparentlyJack completely alone at the back to defend basically 3v1 against Version 1, and that's not the friendliest of bounces. Luckily, ApparentlyJack is ready for it, and he's able to jump up before anyone from Version 1 is able to get a touch. And Version 1 is in quick retreat after that bounce off the sidewall. But that is definitely not the situation you want to find yourself in. So if Noly wants to rotate back into that play, that needs to be communicated early that he is cutting, so that Kronovi doesn't move in closer than he needs to. And if Kronovi wants to take the challenge, then he just needs to call Noly off, and Noly needs to rotate around. Either way, either's fine. Like, it's perfectly fine for Noly to rotate into that play if he wants to be aggressive and catch V1 possibly off guard. But it just needs to be communicated a little earlier so that everyone knows what's going on, and you don't end up in double commits like that. See how we get along here. And yeah, so this play all comes down to hesitation, and this is what's going to cost us this game. So Comm has control of this ball on the wall. At this precise moment, we really should just be going and taking Comm off this ball to make sure that he can't get this transition downfield. Doesn't really matter if we get the ball or if we just hit Comm, but we need to do something to impact this play to make life easier on the player behind us. Because we wait so long, Beast Mode is able to push up so close to us that even though this touch comes right above our heads, we can't do anything to get up to it before Beast Mode does. So Beast Mode is able to get up to this ball, and he's able to shoot it on net. So if we go and take Comm off that play immediately, he can't get this pass out to Beast Mode, and it will really make the life of our backman a whole heck of a lot easier. Now, in talks of that backman, let's take a look at Noly here. He rotates all the way back for boost. But now look at how he slowly creeps up on this play. Now Kronovi's not going, so in this situation, we should be pulling back because Kronovi is still in that position where he can potentially defend this pass. So again, we don't want to put ourselves in the same position as our teammate defending the same thing. Our objective is to defend whatever gets past Kronovi. So if there's a shot coming on our net, that is our responsibility to save, because our last teammate ain't going to get back yet. So creeping up here really puts both of us in an awkward spot, and as soon as this ball gets over Kronovi, it's game over. Because once the ball is over Kronovi, we are too close to this play to be able to have an impact, because we can't reach this ball. So if Noly had just stayed a little further back, this touch is not dangerous at all. It's just a lofting shot on net, easily cleared out to the corner on the right side. We'd have plenty of space. We'd be taking the ball back on a counterattack. So all in all, Gen.G currently is easily the most consistent team in North America. They finished second twice. They're probably just a few small mistakes away from getting that win. And when I say small, it's a couple of easy miscommunications, some positionings that are just a little too aggressive, a little too optimistic, and sometimes they position in the same spots as their teammates and leave the net a little undefended. All of these things are really, really simple to fix. If we talk about Kronovi, he has had this incredible rise between last season and this season. The difference is just astounding. And you look at the composure that he had in several moments of this game, just easily controlling the ball around version 1 players. His challenges off the back wall are really, really nice, really cutting down the attack angles that the opponent has. He just works really well to make life really awkward for his opponent, not to mention his mechanical ability that continues to come out week to week to week. You combine that with the massive brains that are Noly and ApparentlyJack, this is going to be a really dangerous team all season, especially if they can work out the tiny, tiny errors that are currently costing them these series. That'll just about wrap it up for this analysis on Gen.G. As always, whatever your guys' thoughts are on what I've said, go ahead and drop them down in the comments below. So thank you everybody so much for watching, as I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.